Finally, I'd made my husband laugh. We were looking at the hall clock when the door to the living room opened. 30 minutes on the nose. Hans stepped out first and held the door for Felicia. She had discarded the weird, shy look that had been so unlike her. Now she was blazing. For one of the few moments since I'd arrived in San Diego, my sister looked like the Felicia I'd known. Felicia had decided to go with the adventure. I'd known she would all along. I forced my lips into a smile. I could only hope she would not be killed by someone faster, someone more powerful, or someone luckier. Hans was as lit up as Felicia. His face was full of happiness, excitement, hope. For the first time, I could see what my sister had seen, had heard in his voice. This was a brave man. This brave man was my sister's fiancé, I discovered in the next 30 seconds. Eli and I stood together and let the tide wash over us.
I will try to finish at this school. I know that's important, to learn as much as I can before I start practicing full-time.
She was so quick to tell us this, she must have felt I'd be very upset if she didn't complete her studies. I put my hand on Eli's arm. I don't care if you do or not. But I think if you two don't get married right away, you'll have time to grow up some more. And if you gain more control over your power, so much the better.
I agree.
Also, Hans needs to figure out where you two will live. What with the upcoming troubles. I didn't want to say the word war. It was too terrible. Hans has a lot to take care of, and a lot to plan, since I guess any day Aaron may hear from his folks.
He has heard. This morning. That is another reason I need to talk to you. In pleading my personal suits, I am afraid I pushed Aaron's needs to the back. His parents have found a house in England, in the countryside outside London. They have secured their financial situation. They are safe for the moment. Unless England is invaded.
What about your own family?
I wondered why Hans hadn't led with that detail.
As I told you, my parents are already dead. They had a fine jewelry store in Hamburg. Last November, Hitler's stooges broke every window in the store, stole all the jewelry they could find, and killed my father when he would not open the safe.
We froze. That was about the worst thing I'd ever heard. And your mother?
My father had stayed in the store overnight because he thought he could protect it. He thought his neighbors would help him. When my mother didn't hear from him the next morning, she made her way to the store and found everything broken and destroyed, including father.
Hans looked up, his eyes going from one of us to the other. I could see this was the first time Felicia was hearing the whole story. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I'd never seen my sister cry before. She leaned against Hans, and he put his arm around her. After a moment,
Mother knew how to get into the safe. She was brave enough to do it. She hid the jewelry in her clothes. She left out the back door and crept home, staying out of the way of people as much as she could. Even our own people. She met our rabbi in the streets and told him what had happened, and he insisted on walking her home. She knew that would actually put her in more danger, but he insisted.
I realized I was holding my breath.
She was right. He stopped to speak to another Jewish man. She simply kept on walking. The rabbi and the other man were arrested, and she could hear the commotion behind her, and the screams. But she kept on walking. She did not look from one side to another before she got home. She hurried inside and locked every window and door. Mother evaluated the jewelry and loose stones she had managed to save. She put them all in a padded box and wrapped it. She wrote me a letter. And one to my sister, Lisa, too. She went to the post office, one quite far from our neighborhood. Because she thought it would be safer.